Welcome to another installment of my ARK Survival Evolved Dinosaur Accuracy Review series, where we will be taking a look at the individual dinosaurs from ARK and comparing them to their closest real-life counterparts, scoring them solely on accuracy, and ranking them on a tier list accordingly. If you haven't seen the first episode on the Raptor, I highly recommend you watch that before watching this episode, as how I will be scoring and ranking each dinosaur is all explained there, and I will not be repeating myself, got it? Sorry, got a little carried away there. Today, we will be looking at the ankle biters of ARK, the ever-famous, ever-annoying Compsognathus. Compsognathus is a small theropod dinosaur from the late Jurassic period. It can be found commonly throughout ARK's island in all areas other than the mountains, swamp, and snow biomes. While commonly it is simply referred to as the Compy, the full name of ARK's species is Compsognathus curioscarius, meaning it is closely related to the sole real-life species Compsognathus longips. For the rest of the video, I'll be referring to it as the Compy, since Compsognathus is a really annoying word to say. Try saying it 3 times fast. Compsognathus, Compsognathus, Compsognathus. But how does ARK's version fare in terms of accuracy? Well, let's find out. I want to start with the positives, as there are some areas to compliment. As a general idea, yes, this is definitely a Compy. It is correctly shown as a small bipedal carnivore. Until the 90s, it was believed to be the smallest non-avian dinosaur. Since the discovery of Microraptor, another dino we'll be looking at in a later episode, and a few others, it no longer holds this title, but ARK correctly represents this by having the Compy be about a meter long. I won't be too harsh when critiquing the sizes of dinosaurs in this series, unless they're grossly over or undersized. ARK tends to upscale in general, but also to me, there's a bit of disparity between comparing the first and third person view. To me, in first person, it makes them look significantly smaller, making it difficult to judge the accurate size. The Compy was likely quite a slender animal. Maybe ARK's version is a little too shrink-wrapped, as the neck, arms, and parts of the leg could maybe do some more meat on these bones. But I think in this case, I'll let it slide as it seems like a plausible physique to me. And with that, I'll have to end the positives, unfortunately. Once again, I have to mention Jurassic Park, which I'm trying to do as little as possible in these videos, trust me. But this is another design that looks very, very similar. Imagine that ARK and Jurassic Park both rock up to class, and the teacher was like, okay students, please hand in your Compy designs. ARK leans over to Jurassic Park like, shit, I forgot to do mine. Hey yo, can I copy yours? Jurassic Park says, sure, okay fine, just make it a little bit different so the teacher can't tell. So what does ARK do? They add 3 head feathers. Delightfully devilish ARK. Feathers in Compys is a bit of a mystery at the moment. While no direct evidence of feathers on Compy itself have been found, some of its relatives have preserved simple feathers that have almost looked like fur. These really are the rats of the dino world. Other relatives have shown impressions of only scales. So where Compy itself sits exactly is a bit unclear. I personally lean more on the side of a covering of downy proto-feathers on at least the majority of its body, with areas like the feet and hands remaining scaly. ARK pretty much gets this all wrong. The 3 feathers on the back of the head is just kind of random, like no animal has just 3 feathers. And even if the Compy did have feathers, it's more likely to be downy fluff for warmth, not these well-defined feathers. A scales-only approach would have been more accurate than ARK's depiction. Speaking of scales, okay that's fine, I'll leave ARK alone for that. But what I won't leave alone is this almost armor plating that the Compy has. These appear to be either thick and large scales or osteoderms, for which there is no evidence for either. The wrists are once again pronated. This is where the palms are facing downwards. Dinosaurs were not able to do this without breaking their wrists. The palms should be facing towards each other. While this is a source of debate at the moment, it is believed that the Compy had only 2 functional digits on each hand, with the third being significantly reduced in size and function. ARK's model shows the more traditional 3 well-defined digits, which is most likely inaccurate. For design, this is a bit of a tough one. Aspects like the size and build are nailed, but feathers and wrists get railed. Given we don't fully know a lot about this species yet, I can see a range of scores being given, but for design, I think a generous 3 out of 7 is deserved. Like many other theropods in ARK, Compies are given a pack bonus when in a group. And like many theropods in real life, this was most likely not the case. Compies are only known from 2 fossils, so it's kinda hard to argue that they live together in large groups when only 2 specimens are known. Yes, it's easy for us to say that smaller species forming together to take down larger prey is a valid idea, but remember, this is the exception in nature and not the rule. Living together and coordinated hunting requires a level of intelligence that the Compies likely didn't have, and even if they did have this level of intelligence, the small size and frame of the Compy means that even in a group, taking on larger prey is a seriously risky business. Even like a kick from a human-sized creature could easily shatter bones and cause fatal injuries. I think it's safe to say that it's a wiser idea for a Compy to hunt smaller prey like insects and maybe lizards than going after larger herbivores. Now, while the inclusion of pack hunting is likely inaccurate, I do like how ARK has incorporated it with the Compy. Most hostile creatures in ARK will just blindly start running after you once you're within a certain radius of them. But when alone, the Compy will just come up and kind of check you out. This curiosity makes the Compy feel so much more real and not just a very straightforward programmed AI. But when in a group, they will become aggressive, I guess confidence in numbers. This makes it feel like a more realistic mob mentality opposed to coordinated hunts. It's just individuals behaving on their own interests, but using the group to help them gain access to a food source. To further support this idea, unlike other pack hunters in ARK, there is no pack leader, making it feel more like a loose gang rather than some family group living together. Much like design, I can see a range of scores being given for behaviour, but to me, I do actually lean on the positive side in this case. The Compies act in a much more lifelike way than many of ARK's other creatures, so despite the questionable accuracy, for behaviour, I'm giving the Compy a 2 out of 3. With a total score of 5 out of 10, the Compy takes the lead on our tier list with a respectable B tier. So what do you guys think about this result? Would you place the Compy differently? Let me know in the comments below, and what dino should I cover next?